There we go. Well, thank you. With that, then I will call the meeting to order at 10:01 and ask the clerk to call roll, please.
Mr. Hartwig.
Here.
Mr. Mulligan.
Here.
Mr. Robertson.
Here.
Dr. Goodwin. Mr. Saldani.
Present.
Through the chair, we have quorum.
Thank you very much. All right, that takes us all the way up to item number 3, which is approval of the consent calendar. I'll ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes from last meeting on April 16th. And if not, I'll ask if there's if somebody will make a motion to approve the consent.
Second.
All right. And I think I sometimes miss this here. Is there any public comment regarding the minutes here? I don't see any, so I will have a first and a second here. With that, all those in favor of accepting the consent calendar, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, no opposed. That takes us now to the hearing portion of things. And that gives us, I will ask now all the witnesses who intend to testify today to stand and raise your right hand so you may be sworn in. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matters pending before the hearing board today shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. You may be seated. And that leads me to call Guardian Industries, docket number C-25-04S, a short variance, and come forward and please say your name and spell it for the record, please.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Nicholas Martinez, Nicolas Martinez. I'm with Guardian Industries, the float line technical manager.
Thank you very much. Shannon, I take it that's you.
That'll be me. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Shannon Moore. I'm an air quality specialist here at the district. Before you this morning is Guardian Industries LLC. They operate a float glass manufacturing facility with a 212 MMBTU per hour natural gas fired glass melting furnace. To control emissions, the furnace exhaust is routed through an emissions control system that includes a dry scrubber, an electrostatic precipitator, and a selective catalytic reduction system. The electrostatic precipitator requires routine maintenance and cleaning in order to operate effectively and maintain compliance. Guardian has plans to shut down the emissions control system in order to inspect, clean, and conduct necessary maintenance on the electrostatic precipitator. Since the float glass furnace operates continuously for 15 to 20 years without stopping, it is necessary to shut down the emissions control system in order to complete the work. District Rule 4354 allows for excess emissions during maintenance of an add-on emissions control system for up to 144 hours per year. Guardian plans to use 96 hours during this project. There was some question as to how many hours they had available, but they do have at least 96. However, Guardian's facility-wide permit does not allow excess visible emissions during routine maintenance and limits the visible emissions to no more than 20% opacity for 3 minutes in any 1 hour. The emissions control system generates dust that can accumulate on the moving parts and duct walls. During transition to and from bypass mode and during cleaning and maintenance activities, the accumulated dust is loosened from the interior surfaces of the system. Some of this dust can become entrained in the exhaust stream and blown out the stack, where it is detected by the facility's continuous opacity monitoring system, resulting in exceedances of the opacity limit. Guardian expects excess visible emissions to be brief but high and estimates they will primarily occur within the initial stages of bypass. After cleaning the emissions control system, the facility must then clean the opacity monitor and optical stack flow meter to ensure that no material has accumulated on their lenses, leading to erroneous readings. In order to complete this project, Guardian is requesting a short variance from requirements of the applicable district rules and sections of the California Health and Safety Code. In addition to the applicable conditions of the subject permits, the requested short variance will be for a consecutive 96-hour period to occur sometime between June 1st, 2025 and August 1st, 2025 inclusive. If granted, the variance would allow the continued operation of glass melting furnace and continued glass production with excess visible emissions while Guardian shuts down the emission control system in order to perform routine maintenance on the electrostatic precipitator. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that Guardian Industries LLC be granted the short variance with the conditions on pages 4 and 5. I do want to note that there is one change on page 4 to condition 1. In your report, I don't believe it limits it to 96 hours. So the condition will actually read, the variance shall be effective for a consecutive 96-hour period between June 1st, 2025 and August 1st, 2025 inclusive, or until scheduled maintenance is completed and the emissions control equipment is returned to compliant operation, whichever occurs first. And that concludes the district's presentation.
Everybody's noted that as well. Mr. Martinez, do you have any presentation to make or any statements?
Yeah, this is the first of two of our generally planned annual bypass maintenance events. This is for us to go in, clean the material out, get better efficiency of the system, do some preventative work and repair. As well, we're going to go into our selective catalytic reducer, take some measurements for the future installation of another catalyst as well. So as usual, we don't quite have the week lined up. We're shooting for the second week of June, coordinating multiple contractors to be on site at the same time. But yeah, first of two annual planned maintenance events.
I guess I have a question. And then, so if you have two and you're using 96 potentially here, I mean, you're probably not going to use the full 96
Right.
hours. I mean, you're going to have enough time to.
We're anticipating less than 72 hours. For the contractors, we have a lot of measurements we need to take inside the system for future equipment installation. So we're just, giving some conservative time in case we need to. But yeah, realistically, we anticipate less than 72 hours.
Did I read correctly that they still have their entire 144 annual hours? Or I thought I heard something that we're not certain about the hours. Can you elaborate?
I wasn't entirely certain. Will worked on this report initially, and so I wasn't privy to some of the conversation that took place or the emails, but it's my understanding that they do have the full 144 hours available.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just to comment on that, I think it was just a clerical error in the paperwork. We have not been in bypass at all in 2025. So we do have all 144 hours.
I remember having seen you yet to share it later.
Correct, yeah.
How long do you expect the excess visible emissions to last?
Experience tells us that we really are having that opacity excursion or increase when we're going into and coming out of bypass. It's really the movement of all the dampers and the turning on and off of the induced draft fans that causes that extra kind of suction of the material. During the in between, it really is nothing.
So how many hours would you say?
Less than an hour, quite honestly. Yeah.
I think normally in the past, you said it was about 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's minutes momentarily.
Yeah.
Yep. Might be a few instances of a few minutes, but all combined less than 1 hour.
All right. Any other questions at all for the petitioner or staff? If not, I'll ask if any member of the public wishes to comment on this matter. Seeing none, then I'll open the floor for anybody that'd like to make a motion here.
I move to approve Guardian Industries LLC's petition for a short variance set forth in docket number C-25-04S with the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code adopted by reference as set forth in the staff report. Variance shall be effective for a consecutive 96-hour period from June 1st, 2025 to August 1st, 2025, or until the scheduled maintenance is completed and the emissions control equipment is returned to compliant operation, whichever occurs first, and shall be subject to conditions on pages 4 to 5 of the staff report.
As amended.
I included that, yeah.
Second.
Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Mr. Hartwig,
Yes.
Mr. Mulligan,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin, Mr. Saldani.
Aye.
Through the chair, motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, that takes us to docket number C-25-06S, the short variance for certainty. We have a visitor. New face. All right. I'm sure it's a very capable face, and if you could please introduce yourself and spell your name for us, please.
Yeah, so I'm here from Certainteed Installation. My name is Cody Cox, CODYCOX, and I'm currently the hot end manager in place of Ben Cuthbertson.
Right. You're familiar with the process? You've just seen it kind of go.
I'm familiar with the process. I'm pretty familiar with the plan. I'll do my best to articulate that for you.
Right. And I'm assuming Shannon's handling this one as well, and then you'll have a chance to, we'll make a presentation or we'll ask you some questions as well. So go ahead, Shannon.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Shannon Moore. I'm an air quality specialist here at the district. Before you this morning is Certainteed LLC. They operate a glass melting furnace and other equipment associated with the production of fiberglass insulation. In order to control particulate matter emissions, exhaust from the furnace is vented through a preconditioning scrubber with caustic soda injection and a dry electrostatic precipitator, which creates a high voltage electric field on discharge plates inside the unit. Particulate matter in the exhaust stream receives an electric charge when passing through the discharge plates and is then deposited on the grounded collector plates. Both the electrostatic precipitator and caustic scrubber generate particulate matter dust. A complex conveyor system collects the dust from each unit and sends it into a single dense phase pressurized transport vessel. The pressurized vessel then moves the dust into 2 silos where it is collected and used as batch material in the glass making process. CRHB has determined that the dust handling system needs to be redesigned and rebuilt due to its age and inability to consistently keep up with the dust load produced by the precipitator and scrubber. They plan to redesign and rebuild the system in 2 phases. During the first phase, they will separate and remove a section of the conveyor connecting the precipitator and scrubber. Dust from the precipitator will continue to go to the pressurized vessel, while an adapter will be installed at the scrubber to allow manual collection of dust in bags for subsequent disposal. To complete this work, they need to shut down and bypass the entire emissions control system, including the emissions monitoring system and opacity monitoring systems, which are on the main exhaust stack. District Rule 4354 allows for excess emissions during maintenance of an add-on emissions control system for up to 144 hours per year. However, the exemption does not apply to visible emissions, which are limited to no more than 20% opacity for up to 3 minutes in any 1 hour. CRHB does expect visible emissions to exceed 20% opacity during the project and are therefore seeking relief from emissions monitoring requirements as well as visible emissions limits. Once the first phase of the project is complete, they will start up the emissions control system and continue to operate in compliance while they complete engineering and construction of the new dust handling system, which they hope to install in the second phase of the project before the end of the year. Therefore, CRHB is requesting a short variance from requirements of the applicable district rules and sections of the California Health and Safety Code, in addition to applicable conditions of the subject permits. The requested short variance would be for a consecutive 72-hour period to occur sometime between June 1st, 2025 and June 30th, 2025 inclusive. If granted, the variance would allow exhaust from the glass melting furnace to bypass the emissions control system, the emissions monitoring system, and opacity monitoring system, while CRHB implements the first phase of the dust handling redesign project. In addition, the variance would allow visible emissions as high as 95% opacity. The district believes the required findings as set forth in the California Health and Safety Code can be made and recommends that CRHB LLC be granted a short variance with the conditions on pages 4 and 5. That concludes the district's presentation.
Mr. Cox, do you have anything you'd like to add or describe here at all?
So yeah, the work that we're planning on doing in this first phase, we have the 2 systems, the caustic chamber system and this pressurized vessel. There's a conveyor that moves everything from the caustic chamber into this pressurized vessel. Together, it's transported to the 2 silos mentioned. We're going to be removing that conveyor and sealing off the dry EP side to the pressurized vessel and return that to normal production. And then for the caustic chamber, they're going to attach kind of a chute into a collection system for bagging so that that can return back to a somewhat normal configuration until we can do the phase 2. So we're asking for the 72 hours, but we believe that if things go to plan, we can meet that much sooner than the 72.
Are there any questions? Andy, I know you've got some questions about this one. So.
Yeah.
Are you going to clean the EP while you're doing this as well?
Yeah, I believe
So you'll tuck that in?
yeah, we're going to try to do both at the same time. Yeah, so that when we restart the equipment, it's in the best operating configuration. Yeah.
And since this isn't normal maintenance, this is an upgrade. Is it covered by this 144-hour exemption? Because I know that's really geared towards maintenance as opposed to an upgrade.
The district has reviewed this and determined that it would qualify for the 144 hours. They feel comfortable
Okay.
that this would be considered maintenance. It is kind of an upgrade, but it's going to improve the system and make it more efficient.
Did you require them to get an authority to construct?
Yeah, I believe they did. No, actually, no. I don't believe that the conveyor system, the dust collection system, is not listed as a scheduled item under any of the permits. So it's part of the collection system itself, not the actual control system. So it's connected to the emissions control system,
But it's not directly.
but not directly permitted. It's not limiting or controlling any of the emissions itself. It's just assisting the emissions control system.
Okay. And when you do phase two, do you expect to go for another variance when?
I believe that there's plans for that. I'm not sure the duration that's going to be requested for that. It just depends on how this installation goes.
I'm curious too, because Ben was here, what, last month, I think. I mean, how many hours or do they have left? I mean,
That's a good question.
I'm not sure the actual hours.
They had 144, I believe, before the last petition, which they, I think, requested 72 as well, but generally I think it's much less, or more around 48 hours. So it should, that will be something that we'll definitely have to monitor and make sure that they have the amount of time necessary to complete the phase two of the project. If for some reason the engineering and construction lasts longer and goes into next year, they would have that 144 hours available.
For the last variance, I think the one you're mentioning, I think we did have the 72 plan, but we did not use the 72.
not the full.
Now, we're used to see Mr. Cuthbertson.
Yes.
Are you the permanent replacement
I'm
or
not. No,
you're
he is.
switching on and off?
He is just out for this visit. Yeah, I would not normally be the representative.
You're doing a great job.
I appreciate it.
You
Yeah.
can see if your answers differ.
Oh, you're welcome to ask any question. Yeah.
All right. Is there any other questions, Jerry?
And you're going to have the high output for the full time that you're working,
Yeah.
not like the other variants.
In the petition here, it says up to 95%.
For the whole time.
For the full duration. We expect it to be less than that, but yeah, just to make sure we capture everything.
And after you do this work, when you go back to normal operation, you have to manually collect the dust.
So yeah, we're splitting the system into the two parts. So the dry EP side will go back to basically its normal configuration. It'll be transporting to our silos. The caustic chamber side will be going to bags that we'll have to manually handle for the time being until the phase two is completed.
Any other questions here? All right. If I don't hear any more questions, I'll ask if any member of the public has anything to say on this matter. And I see none. So with that, then I will ask if anybody would like to make a motion here at all.
I move to approve the variance, use the short variance for Certainty LLC. The variance shall be effective for a consecutive 72-hour period to occur between June 1st, 2025 and June 30th, 2025 inclusive, or until the initial phase of the dust handling system redesign project is complete and the emissions control equipment has returned to compliant operation, whichever occurs first. The findings show that this seems to meet the required 6 findings of the Health and Safety Code. The variance shall be subject to the recommendations of the staff report, which are found on pages 4 and 5 of the staff report.
Second.
Thank you. If you please call the roll, first and second.
Mr. Hartwig,
Yes.
Mr. Mulligan,
Yes.
Mr. Robertson,
Yes.
Dr. Goodwin,
Yes.
Mr. Saldani.
Aye.
Through the chair, motion passes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're excused, and that takes us then to item number 5, public comments. If any member of the public wishes to make comments about any matter that could come before our board today, please feel free to do so now. All right, I see none. Hearing board comments. Any members of the board? No? All right, no new business then. That takes us to item number 8, which is adjournment. So thank you, everybody. Thanks.